Now, this isn't the first time that I have come across this term. In fact, I came across this term many years ago when I was studying something called bioenergetics from a gentleman called Alexander Lowen. The two really interesting books called Bioenergetics and The Language of the Body. And essentially, one of the main premises or thesis of his work is that we store a lot of energy in character armoring, or in the musculature and the myofascia of the body. A lot of energy, a lot of pent-up nervous energy. So essentially, this is the way it happens. Let's say we have a stressful circumstance, a fight and flight scenario, perhaps even we're being cussed out by a girlfriend, or maybe we're having a confrontation at work. Typically what will happen is, because we haven't yet completely removed ourselves from the animal kingdom, I mean, AI is coming, maybe that's on the horizon, but we have a natural inbuilt mechanism in the body to allow us to get rid of this nervous tension. And one of the ways we do this is by shaking or tremoring. For example, if you watch a dog or any kind of animal, a dog is a good one. Let's say you're watching a dog and a lightning storm is happening. If you have a dog, it will be shivering and tremoring in the corner, and you'll probably go over, it's all right, it's okay, it's just the lightning, it's just the noise. The dog can't help that tremoring. That reaction is a natural built-in mechanism for the animal kingdom to almost shake out all that nervous energy. We have that same mechanism, but it's been crushed out of us because of modern society, because it's not appropriate to, shake and tremor, or maybe perhaps we're embarrassed of doing something like that. But we're getting in the way of a natural pattern the body goes through when it experiences a stressor. I believe they've added another F onto the fight, flight, and freeze that explains this a little bit better. Meaning when the hand wants to shake or the body wants to shake, we clench. So the idea is that if you're stepping on the accelerator of the car, you're also stepping on the brake as well. So you have these two forces that are fighting one another, and you're actually inducing trauma into the nerves. And there's a build-up of tension, is another way to describe it, energy that's in the muscle, in the fascia. Now, what TRE are specific exercises that allow you to get rid of that nervous energy, to liberate that nervous energy in those particular body parts, and allow yourself to feel a sense of lightness, less sense of neurosis, heart rate drops, meaning you're more in your parasympathetic nervous system, less anxiety, less mental tension, less, more confidence. All these things are tied to this idea that in your body, through your experiences, through your traumatic experiences, there is potential. There is untapped potential in the body. And a subject that we talk about on this channel is the tension that's also in the pelvic floor area, also in the psoas. The psoas muscle, which is your hip flexor, which starts in your femur, the top of the femur, and actually ties into, I believe, the third or the second lumbar vertebrae, so L3 or L2, is very tight, very tonic, and actually holds a lot of emotional trauma, emotional stress, especially related to sexual stress, sexual problems, and neurosis in that area. Now, what you can do to release this tension is this. You're going to lie down flat on your back, okay? Hands by your side, palms down. You're going to bring your knees up, and then you're going to bring the heels of your feet together. So imagine this is your feet. Your feet are going together like this, okay, with the heels together. Bring the feet up quite close to the groin, and then what you're going to do is you're going to do a glute bridge. So you're going to push down into the lateral parts of your feet up, squeezing your glutes as hard as you can. You're going to do that for about a minute. So it's a static hold. When you're doing this, you might start to feel some trembling in the adductors of the leg. So your legs will kind of be tremoring like this. Once the minute is over, relax, bring the hips back down to the floor. And then what you're going to do is you're going to raise your knees. Again, the heels are still touching together. You're going to raise your knees about 1 inch to 2 inches up. So the knees are coming together. Once you do that, hold it there and your body will start to shake. Your legs will start to shake unconsciously. You will not be in control of this. Allow yourself to go through these tremors. You go into that kind of autopilot side of you, this innate inbuilt mechanism, which allows yourself to shake out the nervous tension in this area. This might last for 15 minutes. I don't encourage people to go beyond 15 minutes for a session because you might get fatigued and it might cause more damage than it's worth. 15, though, in my experience and in my reading and my research, is the best time frame. Now, if you bring the knees up 1 to 2 inches and let's say you tremor for about a minute, bring them up higher. Okay. Same thing happens if you bring them up, nothing happens, bring them up higher. You will get to a point where they are shaking of their own accord. They'll be shaking like this. They'll start twitching in different directions. And this is your body going through all the backlog of subconscious trauma, of nervous tension that's in the area of the psoas, of the adductors, of the hips, of the glutes area, even of the legs as well. And it is getting all of the nervous energy out. You might even start to feel releasing in your lower back as well, if that's a problem. You might feel your abdominals start to release. Sometimes it can travel up. You might go into strange different patterns. Some people sometimes bring the legs up completely and just start rocking the legs all together. You might start stretching the upper body into different positions. My best advice is don't try to control this. Just allow the body to go through the shakes and do what it needs to do. You've been holding on to this tension for so long. You've been preventing this process. Now you're just giving it the time to release that nervous energy. Once you do 15 minutes of that, stand up and you will feel a lightness, this relief that you maybe wouldn't have had in years. Now, I have been doing this, like I said, for a very, very long time. There are other techniques Alexander Lowen highlighted to me called the bow or the Taoist arch, which I can talk to you about if you're interested. I can maybe even do some demonstrations if you'd like. It looks kind of strange. There's other bits and pieces for the hamstrings and the kind of the posterior chain, which is a little bit more effective. There are various different positions you can put yourself. So the idea of the exercises, I suppose, just to explain a little bit more comprehensively, is to fatigue the muscle, and then put it in a particular position that induces that kind of tremor response. And it is remarkably powerful. I would be very interested to get your experience with this. One of the reasons I believe it's very, very beneficial for individuals who are practicing, any kind of addiction, mitigation, is you're liberating energy, right? You're giving yourself more energy. You're relieving tension, and this is so powerful if you are again changing habits, lifestyle factors. Let me know what your experience is with TRE. Let me know if you go through the exercise and maybe come back to this video and let us know how it went and what you experienced, because I think they are, maybe the word occultist isn't a correct way to use, but in the sense that not a lot of people know about TRE exercises might give credence to that particular or justification of that word. These aren't theories. This is backed by a lot of scientific data. They are facts.